we are going to be doing a one-shot here on Plot Points, where Stranger, our player of Nerida, is going to take over and run us through a game tonight, a one-shot. Tonight we don't have Kitty Doe, nor will Alex be here tonight, so sorry for them not being here, but we wanted to bring all of you something a little special, so you can feel free, as long as DM Stranger's okay with it, to mess with things according to our usual channel rules. So spend those plot points that you're earning in the viewing chat. But in the meantime, I'm going to hand it off to DM Stranger for the night, because tonight I just get to be player Sean. While I go over to D&D Beyond and roll up a random character. One of the advantages of D&D Beyond is you can just collect random and see what comes. Take it away, Stranger.
Yeah, hi, I'm Stranger. Normally, my brain stopped working for a second there. What do? I just ran up the stairs and I'm out of breath. I'm so Second queers. That's what I normally do. It's a little queer D&D podcast that I run. And, yeah, because things were a little funny tonight. I was like, hey, I can DM something. And Sean was like, yeah, sounds good. So I was like, hell yeah. So our intrepid players are rolling up level 2 characters for today's adventures in the Traskenwood. It's a homebrew world in my own homebrew setting. And the short of it is that the players, all they really need to know is somehow you've wound up going to a little place called the Shimmervale, talking to a wizard named Turo, an elderly wizard who has actually given you one potion of healing that one of you can hold amongst yourselves, just in case you need it, but otherwise has asked you to find a little thing called Iphiad spores, these little mushrooms in the Traskenwood, which is about a 2 days journey from Shimmervale. So that's all you need to really know, because that's what's going on. But, yeah, back in many queers. Spooks, what do you normally do? Ha!
I apparently I normally freeze because there were like a good 10 seconds there where everything stopped and I'm like, what's going on? Sorry. I wasn't sure if I was disconnected or not.
And Danger, you can kill your phone as well.
Alright, I will do that in just 1 second. I just gotta put my hair up.
Well, actually, you know what? Leave it in place, and what I'll do is I'll use it to put up the Twitch chat and the rolls.
Cool.
So that'll work.
Cool. Hey, Colton, welcome.
So level 2?
Yeah, level 2 character. Yeah. I'm DMing tonight, apparently.
Awesome.
She volunteered, and of course, that's something
a
forever DM is never going to pass up.
Are you asking me?
Yeah, your guys' Twitters.
Well,
talk about yourselves. We normally do that, right?
We do. As far as I can tell, anyway. You can find me on Twitter, at SpookSalty. I make doodles for the current time being, but I do have plans for the future. Ooh. Yeah, I know. Think of the world of tomorrow and what that brings. It'll be such things as 6 bread sliced toasters.
Oh my.
Quite magnificent.
I already have a 4-slice toaster that doesn't really work anymore, so we have a normal 2-slice toaster, but 6? Wow.
It doesn't get much better than being able to toast half the loaf all in one go.
No, it doesn't. How about you, Colton? What is your Twitter, and what do you normally do on the interwebs?
Philly Fowl. I play games. And I like to troll people on Facebook a lot. And it's like one of my favorites. What else do I do on the internet?
I'm Colton. I ruin lives.
It's just their life. I don't understand why they care so much. It's like, you know?
Right, yeah. Who needs that?
It's just real life.
Yeah.
That's not a big deal, right? I don't know.
So,
right,
Colton,
no,
you're late
totally
getting in here. You're going to want to jump into D&D Beyond and make a random or whatever the heck you want. Level 2 character. Stranger will be DMing us tonight.
Far?
I have a dwarf druid with animal handling, religion. Yeah, that's what I have so far.
Okay. Sean?
I am literally getting over there to make a character right now. I was fixing the overlays.
Sure. Spooks?
I'm kind of going back and forth a little bit. Should I play a Oh man, what is the race called? I'm already forgetting it. Why? A Goliath. That's what it is. A Goliath.
Yes.
Should I play a Goliath Ranger or a Goliath Cleric?
Ooh.
Ah.
Ooh. Well, as the DM, I can't really say anything, so...
Sure, you can just say,
That's
hey,
okay.
here's what you're going to be fighting, here's what you need, and randomize.
All I can really tell you guys is that you guys would have learned through asking around in Shimmervale that the woods you are going to is known to be inhabited by some tricksome fae.
Mm.
Mm.
Trixie,
Delicious.
huh? Okay.
Yes.
Wait. Why is it asking me my race? I said randomize. Go back. When I say randomize, I mean just random everything, people.
Ooh.
Oh, it's just randomizing my name. Don't. Colton, what am I missing? I know there's a random generator.
I think you go back to the start and then hit the far right one instead of like standard build. I think that's probably where you're at. Ooh, I like that. My only thing I got to really choose is this, that my focus is a sprig of mistletoe.
Nice.
How cute.
Oh. Yeah,
Shit.
I'm missing something.
Oh, somebody's making noise in the background.
That
It's me.
happens.
I
It's
think
the
they're
sound of the
making-
wild huffalump. Oh man, I can't find where it's just gonna randomly generate it. I know I've done it before, but all it's randomizing is my name, and it's asking me to pick everything else, which I don't want to do.
I'll take a quick look.
Oh,
See, edit character.
this is the problem when you're forever DM
Yeah, I don't know where to hit
player stuff. What is all that?
randomize a whole character either.
Yeah,
I
you
know
just,
the randomized character name.
What do you got there,
Uh,
Colton?
if you just go to make it create a character, it's going to give you 3 options. And on the far right, it's random everything.
Oh, I think I know why.
You skip
Oh,
past it.
okay.
No,
And it's
he's doing
creating
it
a brand
under the
new
menu
slot.
for. Yeah.
Okay.
He's doing it under the menu to create a character. I was going right into the campaign and doing it.
The
Yeah,
character
randomized.
editor thingy.
That's why.
Yeah.
Which would be probably fun if you did it in the campaign because you'd have more options, but I don't know if it'll let you random in there. Gosh, I picked like 3 characters lately, and each one of them has had a low charisma. I wonder what's that saying about me.
Wait, where are you? It says, alright, I'm a tiefling. I'm Fierna, a tiefling. Okay.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Hopefully I shouldn't have to pick anything. No, it's right. Alright, yep, nope, all that's done. Boom, 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 boom. All my rolls are in place. Yeah, it's alright, it's got everything. Fire resistance, so I'm a bard. Oh my god, so I'm a jack of all trades. I do everything. Oh, do you need
You have to
healing?
sing-
Ask the bard.
you have-
Oh, you need a fighter? Ask the bard. Oh, wizard? Ask the
You
bard.
have to sing everything to us, too. It's so great.
Yeah.
There will be that expectation.
Maybe not singing, but if you're vicious mockerying, what are you saying?
You are like a bad person or something.
Good enough. Roll your d4.
I hate your stupid face.
Jeez, yeah.
Good
like,
enough.
I
Roll a
wanna do an
d4.
unarmed strike. Oh my gosh. I have 2 weapon fighting. Oh yeah. Bardic inspiration. Yeah, we gotta give all that away. Yeah, that's gonna help me so much. Let me tell you.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Identify spells. This is really what you picked, people. It was random, alright.
While you guys
I'm
are
gonna be-
generating your characters, I will read a little bit of information for our listeners.
Bring it on.
So this adventure finds our heroes originally, we're shortening it a little bit because normally I run a much longer game, so we're shortening it to something that's going to be about an hour and a half, 2 hours. But this finds our heroes in Shimmervale accepting a quest from a local wizard by the name of Turo to go into a nearby dangerous woods in order to bring him rare mushrooms. Originally, you guys started in the town or have possibly traveled there from one of the nearby largest cities like Wystone or the Academy de Albright or something around thereabouts. But once in Shimmervale, which is the last bastion of civilization between the Gulf of Amaluna and the Shimmer Dunes to the far north, you guys, having arrived separately, find a little notice board at the Goss Mill Tavern and have gone to Turo's house, having met up around this notice board and been like, yeah, we can do this. Yeah. And the actual place that you go to meet the wizard Turo is a little wizard's tower in the corner of the Shimmervale. And the wizard Turo tells you that he is willing to pay 100 gold per intact mushroom, up to a total of 300 gold for 3 intact mushrooms. These mushrooms are known as Iphiad spores, which grow only at the edges of the Trascan wood. Thus, it's not necessary to delve deep into the woods, only to its edges, which he explains should be safe enough. He's well aware of the dangers that the Trascan poses at large and has told you that there are other people in town that know about it. You've asked around a couple of places, such as the baker and the blacksmith in town, and you've learned that indeed there are, in the Trascan wood, known to be tricksome fae and other curious creatures. He needs 3 samples of the Iphiad spore, paying 100 gold per, as long as they are intact, which is a big, important thing to him. And even if pressed, he's not going to pay any more. That's the sum of it. You can persuasion check all you want, but that's all he's going to pay. Even with a bard, that's all he's going to pay. He does give you guys, like I said, 1 potion of healing, which one of you will be holding on to. Which is, if I recall, 2d4 plus 2, 2d4 plus 4, I forget.
Sounds right.
But I'll look it up at the time if you guys need it to just double check, because I have a bunch of things open because I DM stuff a lot, so I have all of the stuff already open. You will also learn that these Iphiad scores are described as green and blue with a pale pink underbelly, which is how you know what to look for. Having gone to the Trascan Wood, venturing from Shimmervale, you guys, along the way, encountered a couple of bloodhawks that you fought off heroically. These darn bloodhawks and their bloodlust. And on the way, you also encountered a strange little rock creature that started following you guys for a short period of time, and eventually went its own separate way. But this would have been, for anybody who knows anything about elementals whatsoever, in or out of character, this would have been a friendly little Geonid who was very curious about your party. If you tried to speak with it, if any of you know Primordial, he would have said, watching, learning, curious, and that's all. And then would have scampered away. Otherwise, you guys are right now at the edges of the Trascan Wood, having just entered its edges, for lack of a better word. There you go.
As I sit there playing my tiefling self, playing my lute as we come along, singing merrily as we approach these woods, because we all know the Fae are wonderful people, so I'm singing a song to the Fae and talking about the fairies who grant wishes and the little kids love, and just merrily moving along with my 2 compadres. I'm dressed well in my set of traveler's clothes. My one horn is brown. The other one, which has more of a tint of gold, has been sheared off at one point. The jagged edge is still there. And there's a scar that runs from the corner of my eye towards that horn, as if something might have scratched Fiora at one time. She's quite happy everywhere that she's been as she's traveling along with the 2 of you, and she's weaving you into the song at the same time.
Lovely. I love it. Spooks.
I'm playing, at current, a large Goliath person. Although a little more lithe than what you would expect most Goliaths to be. They don't have all of the tattoos and markings that you would normally expect of a Goliath, although there is just a little bit more accessories that you see on their person. They're clothed up in leather armor, and they've got various different simple arms on them, but most of the equipment is tinged in fur in places. This person is fairly quiet and is actively taking in their surroundings as they go along.
Okay. Excellent. Colton.
If anybody ever takes any notice of Burden, it's just to kind of kick him out of the way most of the time. It's covered in animal hides and just kind of becomes melds in with wherever he kind of stands. He just takes in the scenery and tries to find. He's been looking on the lookout for any kind of animals or anything that he could kind of talk to or deal with, and he got kind of roped in on this. He's probably pretty experienced at finding kind of mushrooms in this wildlife and stuff out here. So his hey, have any of you seen any bears or boars tracks or anything like that? We could use them, I think, to find mushrooms.
Oh, I'd say that's a pretty good idea you've got there, sir. I'm not thinking that I've seen anything particularly active lately, but I'll stay on the lookout for you.
Not many bears and wild things inside the inns, but I'd be glad to take a look around. She looks down and said, "Nope, don't see anything at my feet. Sorry."
As you guys are talking.
She checks the bottom of her shoes really quick.
As you guys are talking, it's about late afternoon at this point. There's still a little bit of sunlight swarthing oranges and reds to the sky. You've got 3 more hours of sunlight at best, maybe 2. And as you're talking and nearing the edge of this forest, you see a sudden swarm of black leathery figures just come down through your group and pass through a number of bats that are just curious about you and are clearly not normally exposed to humanoids whatsoever.
Fiera, who was just happening to sing about how mushrooms love the night and grow at night, sees the bats and dives behind the Goliath. Her little lute going dun 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 dun.
Oh, that's nice. That's pleasant. I think we've been blessed.
There, little tiefling. I don't think we're in any kind of trouble. It's just a group of bats.
I would like you all to make perception checks for me, please.
Absolutely.
Nat 1 for a total of 3.
Okay.
I get a +1 to that, so
I got a 21 total.
Okay.
And I got a 6.
With a 21 total, you notice there is at the edge of the forest, as these bats are traversing by, just fluttering in the afternoon evening sky between your peoples, there is a very, very slight movement coming from somewhere within the woods, as if something has darted forward at a rapid pace.
Hey,
otherwise, not much to see. You are very near a downed log, which, as you look at, contains a number of mushroom growths at this edge of the forest, and there is a path that leads deeper into the woods.
Hey there, giant. Look at all this, the scat here. This could be animals we could use for tracking these mushrooms.
Oh, I'd say now's not the time. I take back what I said before. We might actually have some trouble coming in. Pull your weapons if you got them.
I'll
Dun,
pull
dun,
out.
dun, and then she puts away the loot.
I'll pull out like what looks like a troll kind of like club,
Stop! Do not chew that, cat.
wooden club.
Mm-hmm.
I've got a longbow I'm going to notch.
Okay.
I have put away my loot and drawn my rapier.
Okay. As you draw your weapons, you see that for real quick, let me double check what your character's names were. Spooks.
Ooh. You know what? Let's call my guy Giuseppe just because.
Okay, Colton.
Burden.
Burden. Oh, that's sad. And Sean?
Fierna.
How do you spell that?
Fierna.
All right, I thought so. Just double checking. All right, perfect. So, Giuseppe, this little movement that you saw at the edge of the woods has kind of darted deeper into the woods, and it's not coming towards you. It's rather going away from you. For a second, it almost looked like it was going parallel, and then it darts at a 90-degree angle away. However, as you are getting a little bit closer to the forest, and as you draw your weapons, you see this down tree, a big veritable log overgrown with lichen and mushrooms. You do see a slightly bluish-green mushroom amongst the growth.
Well, I'm not sure what happened to that thing that we were paying attention to there, but perhaps we should take a look at some of the mushrooms there. Burden, I don't particularly like calling you that. Can I call you B?
Oh, sure. If you know, that's fine. As long as you don't kick me.
No plans to. Busy Bee, could you get yourself busy checking the mushrooms? I'll keep a lookout.
I'll go over to the log that he's pointing out, and
Okay.
how would you like me to investigate this?
This one is very simple, and it's out in the plain open. As you start to look through the mushrooms, you do notice quite easily, no matter even what your passive perception is, very plain and growing, big on this log, is a large pale blue-green mushroom with a soft pink underbelly.
I think this is what we're looking for. Did we bring anything to keep it in?
Does it match
I'm
the
not sure
description that we were given?
It matches exactly.
Okay.
I'm going to be hanging out pretty close next to Burden there, just with my longbow drawn. I'm just going to keep an eye out on the surroundings, like I said.
As Fiona hears him, say that he's found it, I come over to take a look. Again, rapier in one hand. I pull my dagger in the other and say, "So we just cut it off, and I've got a pouch with me. I have backpack pouches. I have all sorts of things.
Yeah,
I could put it inside my loot for safekeeping. Nobody would look in there, but it would change the sound."
He wanted it undamaged, so I think that's the best. And I'm pretty clumsy most of the time.
Oh, well, as a performer, I always have to be careful on my feet. So, yeah, I'd be glad to cut it off. And she looks to both of you. You okay with this? So, just going to cut it?
Well, I suppose we're here to harvest this thing. If you feel confident in your ability to do so, you're more than welcome.
She takes the corner of her cloak and wraps it around the base and cuts the bottom of it and then holds it up to give it a nice little sniff and sees if it seems like it's edible at all.
Make a survival check.
Okay. Let me see what kind of advantage I have on that or not. Ooh,
Survival
+3.
check's a lot better than a con save.
And we got a 19.
19. With a 19, you know that things that are this kind of odd coloration, especially in a woods that's rumored to have strange fey activity, probably not edible. It might not be poisonous, but it might have some strange side effects.
We'll save that one for later and put it in. The other ones look edible?
Amongst the other growth, you see, again, lichen and mushrooms, and most of them are brown and pale gray. They look like simple edible mushrooms.
Sweet! Grab a whole handful of those and pop them in my mouth. We like mushrooms.
Okay,
Fiona
pop
loves
them in your mouth, and they taste a bit musky and woodsy, but otherwise, there's no ill effect.
Wonderful. I offered my friend some. Tossed them over to the Goliath, too.
Well,
Smacks
I'll
the
take
Goliath in the
some.
face.
Thank you very much. These are very good to fry sometimes, you know. I'll just start picking them off my face and putting them in a pouch.
And to extra protect the
Got it.
mushroom, I've taken my lantern that I have as part of my regular kit,
Okay.
pulled out the inside, put it in there, and then put that inside the pouch just to kind of extra
Sure.
protect it.
Very good. Very good. Alrighty. As you are putting it in the lantern, we hear a tiny little voice go, "Chikia! Chikatsuka!" Do any
Perfect.
of you speak Sylvan?
I do.
You speak Sylvan, so what you hear is you hear a little voice going, "Hey, what are you doing?" And you turn around and you all see a little green-skinned pixie fluttering out of the woods, approaching you.
Oh, Sorry there. We were sent out here to collect a certain amount of mushrooms. Would you like one of the ones that we've picked here? And I'll offer one of the mushrooms that's in my clothes.
Takes it a little hesitantly, goes, sure, what, what are you doing here? You're looking for mushrooms?
Yeah, that's
it's
all.
asking what we're doing here.
What is it?
I put away my rapier and pull out my loot. Oh, the pixies are so sweet, and the pixies are so neat, and they sing some silly song that makes everyone have fun. Yay, the
It's kind of
pixies!
dancing in place. I like that song. That's very nice. But I don't mind mortals in our area, but you should be careful. This is Fleely's territory, and he doesn't take kind to intruders.
And the pixie warned us of Fleecy, but we didn't know who Fleecy was.
Would that happen to be the shadow I saw walking around here just a second ago?
Maybe he's very, very quick.
It did look awfully fast. Well, thank you very much for the warning. If you'd like any mushrooms while we're here, we can cut you some. Do you happen to know where any more of them, Tiefling, could you go ahead and bring out the mushroom to show her?
Oh, I could bring it up, but we still don't know who Fleecy is or how to get about this Fleecy guy there. And then I put the loot down for a moment on the ground and pull out the lantern and show her the mushroom inside the lantern.
You show her the ideas for the specific mushroom. Go ahead.
Giuseppe, I don't speak Sylvan. Do you know what is going on? Who is this?
Oh, it looks like a little friend that came out here to warn us of some kind of flea-seek or something of that nature. I'm not exactly understanding yet, but I figured I would ask about the mushrooms that we're after.
Oh, would you tell them that we would stay on the edge of the woods? We'll not go in. It's okay.
My friend says that we'd like to stay on the edge of the woods, if that's okay. We're just here for the mushrooms, after all.
That should be okay. I know a little bit about these mushrooms. I know there are a couple just a little bit deeper. Not very, very deep, but there are a couple more. I shouldn't have told you that. And she darts away.
Cool. Well, that was ominous. I'm not exactly a learned individual, but I know enough to say that's not a good sign.
Putting away the mushroom and
There's some
whatnot.
more mushrooms around, by the way.
Oh, well, that's good. That's what we're looking for. And I'll go back to looking for, like, beast tracks.
Sean, could I get your tiefling's name one more time?
Fierna.
Vierna.
Fier.
Fee, as in fee, fi, fo, fum. You big old Goliath. That should be easy for you.
Yeah, there we go.
Alright, Burden, can you give me a survival check for some tracks?
That's a big old 5.
Okay. Yeah, you get a little caught up in your own tracks, your own party's tracks, and it rounds you back in a circle.
This isn't good.
But otherwise, as far as looking for tracks that lead deeper in the woods, you don't see any obvious signs that lead deeper into the woods, although there is a bit of a deer path that looks not well worn, but used by a number of local wildlife that goes a little bit further into the woods.
Could be useful. Can I want to try something, and I'll, Fiona, can I see the mushroom?
I pull out my thing once more, putting down the loot, and say, "Do you hear that screaming in the woods? It's a haunted woods. I swear it." And then I reveal the lantern to you so that you can take a look at it, open it up, and
When I get it open, I'll turn into a wolf
Okay.
with wild shape,
Ooh.
Very
and I'll
nice.
try to smell the mushroom and then track where more mushrooms are.
Okay, you have the
Oh, that-
scent of it.
That would explain the dog smell, I think.
Fiona once again lifts her feet, looks, checks to make sure she hasn't stepped in something.
You get a good sniff of the Typhoid spore, and you're pretty sure you have the scent of it. It's very similar to other mushrooms, but it has a very, very slight bit of spiciness to it that is very detectable by your sensitive wolf nose. And sniffing around, you see or perceive through your senses of smell that deeper a little bit in, there's just a little bit of a hint of one, but you can't quite pinpoint which direction other than following in a little further.
I'll kind of do the pointer dog motion about where I think it is, and I'll like give everybody a chance to stop me.
I guess I'll be moving forward, and could I actually keep an eye out for any signs of life around us, any kind of like fresh footprints or anything as we go?
Absolutely. I want to know really quick what all of your passive perceptions are, Giuseppe.
My perception is +4, so 14.
Burden?
I'm currently a wolf, so I have a 13, but I have keen sense, sight, and smell, so I have advantage on them.
Okay, but like your general passive should be 13.
It's 13, yeah, as a wolf.
Okay, that's fine. Fiona?
13.
13? Okay, perfect. Giuseppe, paying a little bit of attention to all of the natural terrain and looking for any tracks or anything, you can make a survival check for me if you'd like.
Oh, that's a massive 14.
Well, that matches your passive perception, so that's good. You do notice that as you guys start venturing a little bit further into the forest, following this little slightly trodden path in the dirt where the grass has grown a little bit around it and the trees kind of curve a bit and the bushes and briars just have this very natural shape to them that makes space for you all to continue forward. You see just in the corner of your peripheral vision something moving. However, whenever you turn to look, it is gone, but you do have a very, very general sense of being watched.
Oh, that's concerning.
I'll give a little snarl, raised back fur.
I changed the tone of my music from a strumming that I was trying to do a lot with the wolf to something more dramatic. Chords.
Brave, brave, brave Sir Robin.
Yeah.
Okay. So as you guys are following this path, you find yourselves at a fork. You're following it for just about a moment or two when it curves around, and you can either go left or to the right. You sense with your wolfish sense of smell that there is something a little bit close to the right, a little bit further down. It's barely the faintest whiff of this spicy smell that you've gotten a hold of.
I'll rub against Fiernan and head that direction.
As he rubs against me, it's probably a good thing because Fiona had already been working to pull out that lantern and seeing like if it glowed in either direction, and then the wolf brushes against her and starts going off. So I'm like, oh, okay. So I hold the lantern down again, loot in one hand, lantern in the other, and come on, big guy, and then start following the wolf.
Oh, you know, I hear there's an old saying that says, when in doubt, left's you're out, but I suppose right is good for me.
Okay. As you guys start going to the more right direction, you see that about 20, 30 feet down the path, this little deer trail, you see a large tree in the center where it splits to either side, where you can go left or right again. It looks like it curves around the tree, so you can continue forward in the same direction, but you can choose one direction or the other to go around this very, very massive oak tree.
Is there a way that looks less traveled? Because, you know, that's really what we should take.
They both look about the same. One has a little bit more twig than the other on the ground, a little bit of ivy growth on the ground, but they look similar.
Well, I know we're following his nose, but it seems like we should, like, consistently, like, either make all rights or all left, so... But, Wolf, what do you think?
I think I'll kind of like, I want to check out the tree more. I don't know why I'm like creeped out by this oak tree.
As the wolf starts approaching it, Fiona's like, oh, he's going to pee on it, isn't he? She looks away.
You know, it is quite common for canines to do lots of peeing on trees.
as you start giving this tree a bit of a sniff, one of these vines snaps out from the ground, and does a 23 hit you?
Yes.
Okay. As this twig snaps out from the ground, you do take 3 points of piercing damage.
Oh!
What do you want to do?
I'll bite at the tree.
Okay, go ahead and roll to hit. Biting at the tree or the twig that snapped out at you?
I'm fighting a tree right now.
Yeah, I was about to say.
It's going to kick your butt.
You're fighting the landscape in real life.
Sorry. Oh my gosh.
You can do it, Colton. I believe in you.
I will use the wolf's chance to hit. Okay. And then... I got an 18 to hit.
18 absolutely hits as you bite into the twig that's curled out at you, and you sink your teeth into it. Roll damage.
Five.
5 points of damage as you bite into this twig that snapped out at you. It snaps in half under your teeth. You feel bark in your gums, but it is, whatever it is taken care of. However, you see, as you take care of this particular little bit of root, another root snaps up at your allies, and it's going to snap out randomly at one of you two. So that is going to be at Giuseppe. Giuseppe does a 19 hit you.
Yeah, I'd
All right,
say
that's going to be 3 points of piercing, slashing? Piercing? I forget what I said. 3 points of damage as it smacks at you. What did the two of you want to do, Giuseppe and Fierna?
Well, Fierna is going to set down gently both her lute and the lantern. That way she doesn't have the lantern shatter and damage the mushroom. And then she's going to draw her weapons.
Okay, easily enough. Giuseppe?
He'll probably let out an uncharacteristically high shriek whenever being cut at. But yeah. When being attacked by this thing, jump backwards and realize that it's already too close to shoot. So
Okay.
the longbow gets dropped, and the closest thing, let's see, probably be just the quarterstaff, I guess. It's easy to pull that out. That I don't know how many actions that would take up to drop the bow and
I count dropping as a free action, so like you can technically smack at it with your quarterstaff if you want to.
Okay, yeah.
Because we're not technically in initiative, so you guys are kind of loose right now.
I'll take
okay.
a wild swing.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's see. D&D Beyond. Let's
Feeling loose.
die. Oh, that's a nat 20.
Get some stretch. Oh, nice! Roll the
Gosh.
double dice damage.
Oh. Let's see. Oh, okay. 1d6 plus 2, so it was a 4, 8, 10.
Okay, that is enough to do it. So you smack this thing with your quarterstaff, and it breaks in half. This root that is snapped out at you, and you see the tree start to calm, where these little twigs have come out. It's not so much the roots of these trees, but these little twigs that were sat on the ground, and there were a couple of these twigs that looked almost like branches, but a little too thin for that had come around and snapped at your ankles. Seems that they have been dealt with. And the forest is not necessarily quiet, as you still hear the occasional bird whistle and the chorus of insects, but this particular tree has had its way with you as far as it desires, and it seems that it wants no more of that.
I
didn't like that at all.
I think you definitely need to pee on it and show dominance before you start allowing it to feel you up that way. It's like there definitely has to be a correlation between these things. So just a thought. I don't really know how it works in the wild here, but
If a wolf can't look up, it definitely can't roll its eyes. But
I guess let's try to find a mushroom, I guess.
Do you sniff anything, or she's still got her rapier and her dagger in her hand, waiting to kind of wonder whether or not she needs to pick her stuff back up yet?
well, I'll go right, even though because I think you said it goes both ways around the same.
Yeah,
direction.
you could have gone left, or it curves around a little bit to the right and then down.
Yeah. So we'll go to the right.
You're continuing down this path. Okay. You, around the left or the right of the path, you continue around this tree and meet back up in the middle. And
Fiona-
easily enough...
Oh.
Yeah? Go
I was
ahead.
about to say, if he starts going down the right side of the path, Fiona dodges left just to see if she can see him come out on the other side of the tree or not.
Easily enough, you do so. And with your quick movement, you guys get there roughly about the same time. Peekaboo!
Oh,
You pick up your short bow on the way, I'm assuming.
yeah. Why leave it on the
Yeah.
ground?
Yeah.
But the
As,
quarterstaff is out and tightly gripped.
Yeah, you've got that for the ready. And as you continue down about another... You continue down about another 50, 70 feet. And you see that there's a sharp turn in this little bit of path that goes off of this semi-beaten trail a little bit into the wilds of the woods, as it were. And you see a number of felled trees in the area. I'd like all of you to make a quick perception check for me, please, since you guys are all on the lookout.
Perception it is.
Spooks? Giuseppe?
That would be 22.
B? Bird?
I think I actually have a plus. I have if I'm using smell, I have advantage. Can I use?
Yeah,
advantage?
you can do that. Absolutely.
Okay, so it's a 15.
15 with advantage. Okay, and Fiona?
14.
14. Okay. With a keen sense of eye and a keen sense of smell, all of you notice that through this little bit of woods, a little bit of a part, not necessarily a clearing, but a little space where the grass doesn't grow quite as tall and the trees are a little bit thicker. Oh, puppy. And you see that there is another felled log that looks quite large enough, and there's some mushroom and lichen growth growing across it. Giuseppe, you do see among all of this growth, as you guys get a little bit nearer, there is a spot of bluish green.
Well, I think I see one of the mushrooms that we're after over there. But watch out for the twigs here. They bite.
Mm-hmm.
I'd like to take the longbow back out again and put the
Easily enough.
notch
Easily
that.
enough.
I did not bring a longbow with me, so I'm just going to remain with my 2 weapons in hand and at the ready.
Okay.
I'll go up to the mushroom and try to put my paws up on the tree, I guess.
Uh-huh. Yeah, you go up to it and you get a good sniff of it, and it does appear that from this angle you do see that it is kind of bluish green with a little bit of a pink underbelly.
And I'll kind of yip.
Wow. I think he's found one again. Wow, he's good at
He
this.
has too. He is quite good. I'd say we'll decide we're doing quite good for ourselves. Already up to.
I'd play a song for you, I tell the dog, but, if I do, I have to, release the weapons. But I guess, well, she begrudgingly sheaths the rapier, pulls out the lantern once more, and if the mushroom looks the same, we'll cut this one off.
Okay, easily enough, you manage to slice this one from its presence on the tree and very carefully slide it into your lantern where you are holding these spores.
Okay, and then wrap the lantern back up, put it back in the pouch, and we've got 2.
Okay. Where would you guys like to go?
Where do
Wolf.
you think we should go from here?
That's it. Wolf, you are our leader. Find the 3rd.
I'll try to. Is that how many we need to get us?
Or 4. If you find 4, I'll try one.
I'll try
love
to
mushrooms.
smell and see if I can tell any are nearby or not.
All right, make a perception check, please. At advantage because of your keen senses.
15 again.
15. You don't quite smell any in the nearby vicinity. You do get the idea that if there are any more in the nearby vicinity, it pops into your mind that they might be beyond scent range at this point. So you probably have to go deeper before you might get another hint of that nasally goodness.
Nasally
spicy.
goodness.
Oh,
What a description. Hey, Shay, good evening.
How
Hey.
do?
Shift back into burden form. I don't know that it's all that smart to be this far in. All the stories I've heard have been bad about this place. I think maybe we'll head back and go and check on the outskirts. What do you think?
I
Kim,
tend to agree with you there. That little fairy did warn us not to go too deep. It's the territory of, You know, I can't remember the name.
so did you change back, or are you speaking as a wolf?
I changed back.
Oh, okay. I'm looking to say, well, we could just keep following the path. That initial pixie did say, there's others in here, or we could look for that shadowy thing that floated about, but I don't know. So far it seems pretty easy. Maybe we just keep following the path, and the third one will just appear.
I've never known mushrooms to just materialize, but these mushrooms do look pretty weird, to be fair.
Well, have you ever gone out in the woods and there was nothing, and the next day there was mushrooms? I think they always just appear, right?
Oh, well, some days they do tend to do that. Seems to be, they like, water. They do like water after a fresh rain. It's quite nice.
Yeah. Just so long as they don't grow in a circle, because we're not going in any circles. I really want to come home at the end of the day and spend some of the gold that he's promised us. I'm gonna get a new horn. I'm gonna get my horn fixed.
Well, how many mushrooms does he need anyway? Can't we just give him 2 mushrooms?
Well, we could, but if we get 3, that's 300, because it's 100 gold apiece, right? 100 gold for each of us.
That makes sense. Okay.
That's a lot of money. I can definitely get my horn fixed for that.
Maybe I'll buy a friend.
Well, I'd say you have 2 here, though, B. I don't think you have a lot to worry about.
Well, I do accept tips, but you don't got to pay me to be your friend, no.
Well, that's nice. But you guys will leave me like everybody else does.
You remind me of this little dog I used to own with big ears. Oh, it was so cute. It was so much fun. I wish I still had it. I think it floated down the river or something like that. Last I saw it was going somewhere with somebody else. I don't know.
Well, I wonder what kind of journey a dog like that would have down a river.
Well, it all depends on who it meets along the way. There was a lot of strange people that night. But, I was playing at this inn, and it was really kind of crazy that night. But this forest, on the other hand, it's not building my rep at all, but hopefully, if we get all 3 mushrooms, we could tell a whole story, and I could probably come up with some really good music for that.
I guess I could steal my resolve.
Yes. People do enjoy a good story about a forest venture. We did also meet a fairy, that makes a good story by itself.
Yeah.
Fairies and mushrooms. Oh, it doesn't get any better than that. Unless you have swamp water. Swamp water and mushrooms and fairies, it's a combination you just can't beat.
Well, I guess I'll keep a lookout for some swamp water in here, but it doesn't seem very likely.
Well, Wolf, I don't know. Do your best. Maybe you can. Do you want to become a wolf again, or I don't know. How does that work?
I could do that. Can I look around for some animals?
Sure, make a perception check.
Okay.
Squirrel!
Squirrel.
What did I do? A 5.
5, yeah. You see what might have been a squirrel's tail disappear into a tree, but you're not 100% sure.
Chase it.
I think you guys are right. Let's just follow the path.
All right. I'll just keep a lookout like I've been doing up until now for everybody. I don't want anything to sneak up on us.
I'm going to put my dagger away and draw my lute and play music. That way no little animals like that squirrel get stepped on by accident by us as we go down the path. They'll all know we're here and all the pixies, and so we won't surprise anybody. Because that just seems really smart.
Squirrels just kind of dart out of the way as you go around going strum, 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 strum.
Kind of shaking, I'll hold my similar looking trolls club.
Okay.
Follow along.
As you head back the way you came, you return to the intersection. Oh, I love that!
Wow.
That was great!
For
You did
fast,
that so
too.
quick, too!
Yeah, no kidding. Dude, you
That's
whipped that out.
amazing.
He's a somewhat cold but slightly worried Goliath man with no tattoos but a few scars.
I
Love it.
Love it.
That was
That's so
awesome.
Good work.
I'm going to go over to the thing and add you some plot points on our other game for that. So
Oh, I should do this more often.
you should. That's how people earn plot points, man. Draw stuff up.
Yeah.
All right, Aathos.
My evil plan
So-
is working.
As you head back, you come upon the divide that you'd found before. Where you go left or right. Left the way you are sure you came from. Right the way that was the left-turn path before.
Oh,
Which way do you guys want to go?
I think
It
we're
was always
sticking
the
right,
same.
aren't we? Yeah.
Oh, we did take right before.
I mean, other than me dodging around that tree just to see if they actually led to the same place, because I heard some really different stuff. I don't really know if this is truly a Fey wood or not, because maybe we just haven't gotten into it far enough, because going different ways. Oh, but yeah, let's go right. I vote right. And she raises her hand.
Yeah. You're not sure. I'll just already start absent-mindedly walking down the right path. You're not sure if it's a Feywood when we saw a fairy.
Well, you know, I've seen fairies even inside of cities and whatnot. Haven't you ever seen them? Some people cage them and whatnot. So, you know, I mean, I'm a tiefling and I'm in the woods right now, but that doesn't mean this is a tiefling wood.
Oh, okay. Makes sense.
The cage life does not sound like a very good one. I'd say any creature that ends up stuck like that has got a really sad time about. That's it.
He's
That's all I
smart.
got to say.
He's like really smart. You'd probably make a good bass though. You know, I mean, not like skinning you and making a bass, but I mean like if you sung. Have you ever thought about singing?
Oh, well, I actually do carry a horn that I like to play on occasionally.
Oh, I've got to hear it. Let's hear it. Let's play right now.
Are you sure we should be doing that in the woods?
Why not? That way nothing will be surprised by us. I mean, plus, whenever I play, people come. Maybe somebody will come who can tell us where the mushrooms are.
I think I'm more worried about us being surprised by something else.
What could be more surprising than the trees? I mean, the trees tried to grab him.
That's true. I suppose if you took a tree and you make it grab people, but also like put fur on it or gave it horns, that would be scary.
I'm not giving up any more of my horns.
You do seem to be lacking one, and I'm going to take out my horn and I'm going to hand it to her.
I think if I could find any animals, we might be able to put fur on a tree.
Totally oblivious to that. She starts licking her lips, like checking out the horn and whatnot, sniffing it, seeing about the ambrosia for her lips and whatnot, whether or not she'll be able to use this because she knows he's bigger and whatnot. Are her lips big enough to use his horn and play it properly?
I guess we will find out, huh?
Yeah, it's a little bit of a stretch, but
She's like, practices a little bit till she gets it just right, you know, and then, you know, puts her lips to it and tries to make some beautiful music with it. The cat's coming to hear it.
yeah, Mugs came to hear it. Just give me like half a second, Mugs, and you want your dinner? Sorry, it's the usual feeding time for my cat. I have to give her food.
And a cat approaches us in the wood and looks at us, meowing like,
Good girl.
"Hello, are you
Finally.
here to feed me?"
Anyway, yeah.
Yeah,
So
bye.
you. Go ahead.
I try to charm the cat. Sorry.
Okay.
We just brought a cat
Meta
into the woods.
roll. So you blow at the horn, and as you do, you hear as the forest goes suddenly quiet. The absence of sound is unsettling. No birds chirp, no crickets sing, no frogs croak. Only the sound of your footsteps echoing loudly throughout the silent space.
Well, I'm starting to like this less and less.
I've dazzled them. They're all ready to listen to the performance now. No, this is good. The crowd usually goes right quiet right before I begin. And then she launches into it. She's trying to play something, from the deepest, darkest part, maybe something orcish, with some really heavy beats in there with some good blast put in.
Yeah, absolutely. And you do so.
That's very tribal. Thank you. But and he just starts stuttering as everything gets quieter and quieter, and he's just got his bow up, and he's noticeably shaky despite his large arms.
And how about you, Burden?
Yeah.
I think we should have left when I said you guys are gonna doom us. I think 200 gold is much better than no gold and death.
What? You don't like my playing anymore? Oh.
Your playing is fine. It's just that I think that something may come for us with it being so loud.
Well, but the pixie came for us, and she was a help.
Maybe she warned them. I think they're all coming now. And I'll just get really, really agitated.
So
As you grow more and more agitated, you see, as you guys are continuing walking forward, but growing more and more nervous as you do, that there's a cluster of trees in the forward space that goes either left or right, but the trees, again, similar to the other space you had, but larger this time. You can either go left around them or right around them. They look like they converge, possibly, but they're a cluster of about 3 or 4 large trees.
I blow the horn down each path and see the echo if one tells me that it's bigger on one side or the other.
You blow the horn down, and as you do, I need all of you to make dexterity saving throws.
Jeez. Well, that's
Giuseppe.
not fun.
let me see, dexterity, and that is a 14.
Burden,
17.
Fiona.
11.
Alright. All of you feel this weird, slight sensation of just a barely there presence settling upon your skin. And you realize you are encased in spider silk.
Yay, spiders. They're
As
so
you
fun.
feel a number of skittering forms dazzle across your form, your figures, and you feel these little nibbles at you. And for the sake of this, I'm going to have you guys roll initiative real quick.
Oh.
I'm so grateful that I kept my mushrooms locked up. That way they can't get
5.
to them.
Okay, 5.
My
Giuseppe?
rolls are on fire tonight. I rolled another natural 20.
All right, what's the total?
It's 22.
22. Okay, Fiona?
17.
17. Okay. So Giuseppe, let me give a quick roll for this little spiderlings. That is going to be a 12 for them. So, Giuseppe, when you first feel this slight, barely there weight like gossamer across your shoulders and head, you're like, ugh, as it curves across your bow that's at the ready as you're shaking, and you feel this little nibble on your forehead. What do you want to do?
Smack myself in the head with the bow where I thought.
Okay, roll the hit.
Rolling on me.
Roll the hit.
Let's see. That is a 21.
21. You absolutely smack that spider in the head, and it goes splat across your forehead.
How
you
much
wanna do
damage do
anything
I
else?
take?
You don't take any damage because it's just the bow, and you've probably done this before by accident.
Probably.
But you smack this thing and it goes across your forehead. Do you want to do anything else on your turn?
Jump and take a few steps backwards to make sure that I wasn't in something with a little girly scream.
As you do so. You do so, you feel the web kind of forming around you, and you feel it go a little further down your front, further down your back, so you feel it on the back of your neck. And just like, as you do so, as you step a few feet back. You can go ahead and move backwards a little bit, but you are still a little bit encased within. Fiona.
I need to drop my horn and start using my hands to try and brush these things off as I move back out of the web.
Okay, go ahead and give me like an unarmed strike roll.
Sure.
See if you can kind of get out where they are on your back and shoulders.
Unarmed strike. Boom, boom. And boom. And I got a 4! Woo! Rocked it!
You gotta like shrug off your shoulders and you realize that that's just spider web on your shoulders, and you feel a big one crawling across the back of your neck and up your head, and you're like, get it off, get it off, get it off! And you don't get it off. Do you want to do anything with the rest of your turn?
Other than make sure that it's not getting inside my horn, because I don't want it getting in there.
Awful.
I'm like, I don't want it making like a little nest in there, so I quickly like cover it up as I dance around behind, and I'm like, get it off, get it off.
Okay, alrighty. The spiders' turns. They're gonna start nibbling on you guys. And Giuseppe, you still have 1 on you. So as I drop my dice, that is gonna be a that's a 16 to hit.
Yeah,
You take
more than
one.
enough.
You take 1 piercing damage, and I need you to make a Constitution saving throw.
$17.
You succeed, so you don't take any poison damage.
Nice.
And Burden, these two are going to try to bite at you, the 2 that are on you. One is going to be a 9 to hit, and the other is going to be an 11 to hit.
Both miss.
Alright, both miss as they try to bite into you, but they only bite into the hides that you're wearing. And let's see, Fiona, there are 2 on you. The big one on your back, on your nape, with a natural 20, is going to bite into your skin. You take 2 piercing damage, and I need a Constitution saving throw, please. The other one's only going to be a 9, so I think that'll miss you.
21 on the con save.
Alright, so you don't take any poison damage. The other one's a 9, which I believe should miss you unless you have a negative dexterity modifier.
Nope, I'm good.
Alright, then you're good. Then you're good. Alright, that brings us to Burden.
So my club will glow with my shillelagh, and little green mistletoe sprouts, this poison ivy, kind of comes out, and I'll swing to try to swipe them off of me.
Go ahead and roll that.
9.
9, yeah, you go to smack it 1, and you kind of just like, into your own shoulder. You don't take any damage, but like you kind of miss, and you're like, that's kind of hurts a little bit. As it skitters down your arm further onto your weapon arm, onto your weapon hand.
Yell out, "These babies, they'll have a mother. Watch for it."
Okay. That brings us back to the top of the round with Giuseppe.
Where's the others?
You have 1 still on you. It is on your right bicep.
Okay. I guess I'll try to smack it too then, because it just bit me.
Roll the hit.
Okay. This one's probably just an unarmed strike, because, I smacked myself in the head.
The other one probably should have been 2, but I'm not worried about it, so go ahead.
Yeah. All right. Let's see. That is 16.
16 will definitely hit it. As you go to smack it, you don't need to roll damage because they only have 1 HP. So it splatters across your arm and a little bit of goop.
Nice. That's fantastic. I love goop in my wounds. Can I take a few more steps backwards to get a little bit more?
Take a few more steps back, and you feel as the spiderweb pulls and pulls and pulls and pulls and finally snaps as you step out of it.
Fantastic. I'm gonna get my longbow ready again because what B said has me a little worried.
Oh no. Okay. That will bring us to Fierna.
I'm going to put down my loot and use both hands to continue to smack so that I can do a unarmed strike with the one. And
Yeah, go ahead.
okay. Do I make 2 separate attacks for that for each hand?
I would say it would be your bonus action to do so, but go ahead.
Okay. Unarmed attack. Boom. So my first one is a 12, and
That'll
my bonus would be a 16.
Both will hit as you smack the 2 that are on you and take like a step back to get out of the spider web. You are out of the range of it, and you do kill the 2 spiders that are on you. The one that's on like your the back of your nape, and I think, and the other one that's just on your shoulder.
Cool.
Yee.
I went ahead and did a little. That's all.
Nice.
So good. Looks so good.
Just having fun.
Yeah, we're having fun here. That's all that matters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now to draw
Spiders
the
down.
spiders.
Okay, so there are 2 spiders left, both of which are on Burden. It is their turn. They're going to take their little nibbles. One is going to be a 13 to hit.
Okay.
Miss.
Miss, and the other is going to be a 19, or 18.
A hit.
Okay, that will hit. You take 1 piercing damage, and I need a con save, please. What was that?
You're
You're
muted,
muted.
buddy.
A 7.
7. Okay, 7 does fail. You take another point of damage in the form of poison damage, as you feel a little bit of poison seep into your skin from this little nibble of this spider. Burden is the only one that still has 2 little spiders on. The rest of you are free. At the top of the round, not at the top of the round, at the bottom of the round is Burden. What do you want to do?
I'll try to shillelagh hit this one of these off again. Nat 20.
Nice, roll that double dice damage. It doesn't really actually. I will say that you're hitting 2 of them with a natural 20. So
Oh.
so you can go ahead and get the other 2 smack with your shillelagh, just a quick sweep across your shoulders, and you
There
get
we
them
go.
both off of you.
I got them now.
Well, that was rather impressive. You're very good at killing spiders, B.
Well, what threw this spider web at us?
Are you looking?
I want to
Yeah,
look
well,
at.
I guess take a look-see up, right?
All right, you guys can make perception checks.
Perception check it is.
Giuseppe,
15.
Burden,
14.
Fiona.
It is a 13.
Okay, you all see as there are in this scape of trees above you. Moxie, what the? Sorry, she just knocked like a million things down, but not really. It was really funny. She made a lot of noise. So you see, as if anyone has ever seen, at least in the Northeast, those giant cocoons that millions of caterpillars make. There is this enormous spider web crossing these 3 trees with hundreds of little baby spiders. You don't see any bigger ones, but you see hundreds of the little itty bitty babies. But there is a path around and forward.
Oh, well, on the bright side, it doesn't look like there's a mama about. Maybe spiders aren't particularly kind to their young.
I'm worrying more about the things I don't see than the things that I see. Oh, I tried my best. I think I can get out of this webbing, and I'll try to pull myself free.
Give him a hand to pull out.
With some assistance, you do manage to. It takes a moment, but you do manage to escape the webbing. And Fiona, with a little bit of assistance, you can as well if you'd like.
Absolutely. I thought I'd taken a couple steps back earlier, but
Yeah. But in this case, you're actually free of the webbing now.
Great.
Let's take the
Alright.
path less traveled.
I trust you. I'm kind of liking the idea that you said before about going back, but if we're quick to get to a mushroom, maybe there's one around the tree. Perhaps we can grab something and get
Fiona
out.
starts laughing. He said you didn't get it? He said he's kind of liking.
Oh,
Oh, tough crowd.
I don't get it.
She's like, well, we're
Uh-oh.
hunting mushrooms, and see, mushrooms grow like this, and we're in the forest, and, oh, never mind. If you have to explain a joke, it doesn't work.
It was so bad, it was good.
I was going for the road less traveled. Trying to build on
I
that.
think we already took that. Like, remember you went to the right, and I went to the left? Oh, yeah.
But it'll make all the difference.
It will. Oh, she seems so, just a newfound respect for you now.
All right, I guess we'll try to mosey around the spider webs and take a look around the tree, see if we can find a mushroom.
Easily enough, you continue around the spider webs, and you see that the path continues downward. There is a little bit of this deer trail that continues downward, but it kind of ends, and you see that there is mostly a bunch of tree growth, and about 80 to 100 feet away, there are a cluster of downed trees, a cluster of rocks, and a path that goes off to one side, but it's still a little bit further away.
Oh, do you guys still feel confident about where we're going?
Nobody's
No.
come to lead us yet, and we need his nose to really sniff anything out.
Yeah, okay. I'm gonna give it one more chance to find some animal. Really want this.
Go ahead. Survival.
Yeah. Hello, kitty cat.
$19.
19.
Nice.
So, as you are all traveling along this path, you do see that, or this lack of path as it becomes, rather, you do see that where it ends, there are a couple itsy bitsy footprints that almost look humanoid, but almost look like little tiny boot prints, like little children have had their boots in this mud. And there are a couple prints of what looks to be birds, and a couple of also prints that looks to be shoeless, tiny prints, almost like the little pixie that you saw before. As far as the animals go, you see the little bird prints, and you do see the prints of what might be a fox leading far into the woods. It goes far off into the distance, further than you probably want to travel. But overall, you do see the traipsing of little boot prints and birds.
I'll kneel down and ask everybody to look, and I'll say, "You still think this isn't a Fey wood? Look at this. Bird rider fairies."
This looks awful fairy-like to me, if I had to guess. But, take my word for it if you feel like you're confident.
Do I have any training to know whether or not it's fairy, fey, or with my bardic background and magic?
Make a history check, please.
History, not arcana. One moment. Pop it
In
up.
this case, history, yeah.
Yep, it's a 3.
3. You've no idea.
All right,
Bards,
well,
jacks of all trades, masters of none.
Yeah, for real.
so we basically have the option of going back, which, we've discussed as a possibility, but we won't really get paid as much. And we have the possibility of going forward, which could possibly lead us to tricks and treats.
Okay, it seems like you want more money, and
I'm good with going back now. We've gone pretty far in.
As you say that,
Despite trying to summon an audience, none has come.
As you say that, Giuseppe, you see a little shadow dart in between the trees.
Or maybe we should pull out our weapons. Something fast is moving around again. I'd like to say in Sylvan, if you're a friend, please step out. If you're not, let us know.
You're coming from a strange angle that does not at all match the angle that you saw the shadow at. You hear in Sylvan a little voice going, "You're in my woods. Leave now, or else."
All right, that's all you had to tell me. The voice says to get out, and I think it's good advice.
I'm down with that. Okay, start back up the path.
Okay. Burden, are you following them?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, as you start backing up the path, Giuseppe, you see that a small darting shadowy form has appeared behind you as well, as if pinning you in place.
Oh, I'm not sure they plan on letting us run here. Or maybe they're just watching. Or do you think they want the mushrooms?
You hear a little Sylvan voice go, "What are you doing here?"
We're leaving.
What?
We're trying to get mushrooms, but I see we have overextended our stay.
So you're not after the portal?
No, you'll want to chat with that one. He asked us to leave over there, so we're leaving.
This is all in Sylvan.
Oh, darn it.
Yeah.
Never mind.
It's mentioning a portal.
To the portal?
I don't really know what you're talking about, if being totally honest here.
Tell them we're not after it. Maybe just tell them, show them the mushrooms again.
I'm pretty sure most of the group shares a shrug. I guess I'm going to pull out some mushrooms and just hold them up. We're just after some mushrooms and we're going to head back.
You just want mushrooms, that's all. Are you sure? Are you positive? Do you promise?
Yes?
You can't make a promise with me and not honor it.
We plan on just getting another one of the mushrooms that we're after, and then we're going to go. That's the only reason we're here. Everything is okay.
Make a persuasion check, please.
Oh, here's why
I'm
we're
here
low.
thinking Fiona wants to eat some, though. Fiona's
I
not
got
leaving
a
with just
4.
one.
A 4. Okay.
Yeah.
Alrighty. You hear this little voice going, "I don't know. I don't trust you." And as it goes, does a 21 hit you?
Yeah, that's way more
level
than
You feel
two?
this little dagger embed in the back of your shoulder, and it's gonna deal 8 points of piercing damage.
Ow.
Yeah, I'm sorry. And I need you all to roll initiative, please. Giuseppe.
21.
21. All right, Burden.
10.
10. Fiona.
10?
10. All right, Burden. What is your dexterity score?
13.
13, and Fiona.
Dexterity is a 14.
All right, so Fiona will go before Burden. And this little guy, as is typical for me rolling monsters, I rolled low because there's this joke amongst my players that I roll really low for my monsters. And it's still true. It's fine. It's fine.
Mm-hmm.
You got a 7 total. You only rolled 2 on the dice. It's fine. Okay, so Giuseppe, as this digs into your shoulder, what do you want to do? You are first up.
Well, I mean, I'd like to about face and see what just stabbed me.
You take a 180-degree turn, and you see in the clearing that is behind you, you see nothing.
Okay, I don't expect this to necessarily go well, but just as a quick reaction, because I mean, as far as I know, something still stabbed me. I'm bleeding, so I'm going to just leap forward and just try to use my giant body to pin down whatever it is that I might or might not land on. As far as I know, it might even be a small fairy. So I'm just gonna leap forward and try to like plow into something.
You leap forward, and I would say it would take like your bonus action to do so in your movement, and you belly flop onto the ground. It is whatever it is not there. It's not an invisible creature as far as you can tell, because you've just put your body on where you thought this came from. So whatever it is, it's not invisible.
Well, that was embarrassing. I guess I'll use my movement to get up and.
Yeah, you can use the other half of your movement to get up. You've used all your movement at this point to do so.
Yeah. And I mean, I don't have anything to look at, so I guess, or anything to target. So I guess I'll just try to look around and see what I can see. Maybe there's some tracks or something. I'm being tricked.
Okay. Looking around, trying to see what you can see. You see that, let me make a quick roll here. Make up her... No, because you didn't use your action to make a perception. This is just your passive perception on a quick look. You don't see anything.
Okay.
You just see the trees, the foliage, the shrubs, and a couple little birds scattering away like so many little scared doves. But not in any particular direction, and not coming from any particular direction, just from where you've belly flopped away. And they weren't crying out before. The woods is still eerily silent.
Okay.
Okay. That will bring us to Fiona.
Do I have actual... You said we can't see it, right? So... is this
you don't see any, like, glancing around, turning about in space. You don't see any creature in your viewpoint.
That's alright. You know what? We're just gonna... no, that's not gonna work. Oh, that's not gonna work. Yeah, I'll hold my reaction, drop the loot, and pull a rapier and just hold it to respond if something attacks me to attack back at whatever it is.
Okay, so you're holding your action, rather.
Readying an action.
Readying an action. Okay, that's totally fine. So you ready your action in case something attacks you or somebody nearby, if it gets in your range, to stab at it with your rapier. That's perfect. Burden.
I'll run over thinking that our Goliath is dead. And I'll lay my hands on him and I start praying and I break some mistletoe into his wound. And I'll cure wounds on him.
Okay, roll curing.
Nice.
Very nice.
7 health.
You gain 7.
Oh, awesome.
That's very nice, especially
It
level
is.
2.
That's quite a boost.
It really is.
And you're probably convinced I was dead too, because I get right up.
You get right up as soon as you do so within the 6-second interval.
Yeah.
Risen! He is risen! I'm sorry. Are you doing anything else with your turn, Burden?
That's it.
Okay, that's it. It is this creature's turn, and you guys do not see very well, but you see it does reveal itself as, from the shadows of a tree, this tiny bluish skinned form wearing these little tiny leather outfit darts forward and is going to come up around and behind Fiona and is going to take its attacks on Fiona. That is going to be a 14 to hit Fiona.
Sure, I guess I don't get to make my attack first since it was
You
ready?
do when it comes in range, so you get to make your attack first when it comes in range. So go ahead and roll the hit.
Okay. Rapier. And that would be a 19.
19 will absolutely hit.
Roll for damage. Look there. That is a 5.
-5. All right. As it comes in, it jabs one of its daggers into your stomach. That is going to be 8 points of piercing damage.
Woo! Buddy.
And yeah, and it's going to hurl a dagger at Burden for because it has multi-attack. At a 16 to hit.
It hits.
All right, that is going to be 7 points of piercing damage. You still up?
I'm still up.
Okay. And that is its turn. Back to the top of the round with Giuseppe.
Okay, well, it's on top of us, and it's in the middle of fighting. So I guess I'm going to do...
You see, as, like, what it does is as it hurls the dagger, it darts back behind a tree, but it doesn't have the ability to, like, hide or anything. But you see it kind of, like, peeking around this tree. And you kind of hear a little voice go, "Get out! No!"
I mean, I guess I'll just shout out to it. We already planned on leaving, but you done stabbed us twice.
What was I supposed to do?
Let us run, you dumb bastard! Starts to get angry. I'm gonna go ahead and drop the longbow again, and I'm gonna go ahead and pull out a spear that I've got on me, and I'm just gonna ready in action to stab at it if it tries to come up again.
Okay, if it comes within range of you.
Mm-hmm. I'm gonna just try to get in the middle of everybody with that, with the.
So you're gonna use some movement to like get in between Burden and Fierna.
Mm-hmm.
You guys are only like about 10 feet apart, so that puts you like perfectly in the middle of them. Okay, perfect. That will bring us to Fierna.
Great. You said we can see it sticking its head out. Is it yelling at us?
You can. It's about 20 feet away right now.
Perfect. And I'm casting Tasha's hideous laughter at it.
Alrighty. Is that a save?
I believe there is. Let me just take a double quick check. Is it wisdom save? Yes, it is a wisdom save.
Wisdom save. That's a 10.
And let me just check my spell DC here. Whatnot. Nope,
At level
he's down.
2, that should be a failure, yeah.
Yeah. So he is prone and incapacitated.
Okay,
as well.
So you see as he starts falling over and he starts laughing uncontrollably.
Okay.
He is prone and incapacitated. I believe with Tasha's hideous laughter, he gets to make that save at the end of each of his turns.
That is correct. And each time it takes damage.
And each time it takes damage. Gotcha. Thank you. Yep. All right, perfect. Is that the end of your turn, Fierna? Or are you bonus actioning, inspiring, or anything?
Oh, yeah. No, if we can do that, let's go ahead and do that. Let's go over and give, because our Goliath is up now. Yep. And, of course, so is Burden. And Burden's got that big troll club. Does either one of them look like they would do more damage? Because I want to inspire whichever one looks like they'd be like the beefier, just go crush this thing's head in.
As far as you can tell, they both look about the same, but you can tell that Burden would be acting like immediately after you.
So there you go, Burden. We're going to give you some bardic inspiration here, buddy. Enjoy.
And that is a D6 at this level?
I believe so.
Yeah.
There you go. D6, correct.
Alrighty. Burden, it's your turn.
So I can see this thing and it's laughing on the ground?
It is incapacitated with laughter on the ground.
So you have advantage on the roll plus... Yeah.
Plus your bardic, plus your D6,
So I'll turn into an elk.
Okay.
Ooh.
And I'll charge, run it down.
Okay, very nice. Roll to hit.
Okay. I'm going to use my regular attack roll because I don't have like elk built into this sheet.
And you have advantage on it because it's prone, so...
So
plus 1 to...
Elk has charge, so if you're moving at least 20 feet straight forward, which I said is 20 feet away from you, and you hit on it, you'll get an extra 2d6. So just roll to hit.
It's a 17 is my best.
That will hit, so go ahead and roll your your ram damage. It is already knocked prone, so it doesn't need to make a save. So go ahead and roll your ram damage, which is 1d6 plus 3 plus 2d6 from your charging ability.
12 damage.
12 damage. Jeez. All right, so you go ahead and ram into this thing, going as I knock my headset off, doing the gesticulations. And you slam into it, and your horns actually kind of like pick it up off the ground, and it's stuck within your horns up a few feet off the ground.
If it's still alive, DM, it does get a wisdom save.
Okay, it does, because it is still alive. It's with an 18 on the dice, I believe it succeeds.
Yep, it does.
Plus 1, so 19. So, okay, so it is no longer laughing hideously. It is like, that's all it's doing, is screaming violently at this point, like, let me go, let me go, let me go! Is that your turn, Burden, or are you trying anything else?
That's it. That's
okay,
all.
so that brings us to this creature's turn, and this creature is going to violently pull out a couple of daggers out of its tiny little sash of daggers, where it has multitudes of daggers, and it's going to start stabbing at the head of this thing that has it. It's like, let me go. I'm just going to take both of his attacks against Burden's elk form.
Parry with your antlers. Parry with your antlers.
However, the first one is only going to be an 8.
Misses.
And the second one is only going to be an 11.
It hits.
The 11 does hit, okay. So you're going to take 7 points of piercing damage.
Okay.
Which does not knock you out of elk form if I have the right...
That does not.
Yeah, you've got 13 as an elk. So yeah, it just stabs you, and then it's going to try to twist out of space. And he's no longer... Technically, I would consider him restrained by you right now. So his blurred movement doesn't do anything because he restrained. So that's going to bring us back to Giuseppe.
All right. This thing was rather violent. I guess I'm going to go up on the other side of the elk, and I'm just going to start prodding it with the spear.
Pokey?
Yeah, I'm going to do pokey pokey.
Okay.
I figure, either side at least will be flanking. I don't really know what that does in 5e, though.
That means you get advantage on your attack roll to hit.
Oh, gotcha. Okay. Let's see. First one's a 16. The second one is a 14.
Yeah, 16 will hit.
Okay. Two-handed, that is 1d8 plus 2. That is 9 damage.
9 damage. So, Giuseppe, as you stab this thing in with your spear that you've already had at the ready, it goes through its gut and it goes, and it goes limp.
I'm just gonna drop the spear with it still stuck on it, and I'm gonna go back to Fierna and go. Oh, where did it stab you? Let me take a look. It must hurt terribly. And I'm gonna start doing a medicine roll if I get the chance.
Sure.
What did you say, Sean?
Oh, I didn't, because she told you to go ahead and make a medicine roll.
Oh no!
Okay.
Go ahead and describe us where it stabbed you. Are you bleeding out? How injured do you look? Do you look bloodied?
Yeah, I'm bloodied, all right.
Bloodied. All right, go ahead and make a medicine.
Because you said it was in the back and whatnot when I got stabbed.
It was.
So
it was.
it's
Just have
on
you
my
make
back.
A medicine roll.
Yeah.
I got a 20.
With a modified 20, you stop the bleeding and you do heal 1 HP on Fierna. You will need further healing to actually heal her any real semblance of HP, but this will at least stop the bleeding and give her an HP back. And you see that further down the way with your passive perception, there is, again, like I said before, there are a number of downed logs. And this creature, I would really like you all to make a quick history check for me, please.
You got it.
My strong suit.
As an elk?
No,
Or
as your you keep your mental stats when you wild shape, so it's fine. So Giuseppe.
Does it have
I got a
anything to
3.
do with stones?
Sorry.
Does it have anything to do with stonework?
No.
I got a 16.
11.
11 and 16 for Fiona.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So Fiona, as you see this pale blue skinned body clad in leathers, these pale brown leathers, you do recognize that you have read a little bit about this. A little bit about the fey creatures and some of the more common ones. Now that you can actually see it and see it still, and that's the key word, is seeing it still. Because when it was moving, you couldn't tell what the heck it was. But now that it's still, you can tell that this is indeed a quickling.
Ooh, quicklings. So I want to go over and inspect it rather than going to the logs. I want to do the bards because we are everything, which means there's also a little rogue hidden inside me, which means I need to search it completely and see whatever it used to have that is now mine.
Yeah, for sure. Give me an investigation check, please.
You got it. And basically, we'll just leave this little quickling. Oh, probably the first thing I would do is with my dagger is make sure that double tap it around the throat and it's actually dead.
It is very dead.
Okay, just
that zombie land rule double tap.
I could go into the long story of how I lost my horn, but there was a time when I didn't double tap everything. So, so investigation.
Yeah. I can tell you, DM aside, one thing that you will find on it is a spear.
Yeah.
You're still sticking it to the ground, yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, before I removed the spear, I didn't want to have a vampire thing because she's not that well versed in the world yet, Right. So I got an 18 investigation as I was going through all the little packs and pockets and taking off the clothes and.
Okay, so what you find with an 18 investigation is you find 3 daggers hidden on its body, including one in its hand. That does not include the 3 or 2 that it has thrown. So with a quick investigation, you can gather those as well. So you get a total of 5 daggers.
It's like one of them is still sticking in my back.
Yeah, you gotta pull it out, and there's a little bit of a blood spurt.
Are they this big though, or are they?
They are normal. Well, they're slightly smaller than average, little glass daggers, but they still count as a regular dagger for the sake of this. But they are just barely smaller than average because this is a tiny quickling creature. And you do find that on this quickling, there is a small. Excuse me. There is a small little a leaf that looks like it is some sort of poison ivy or poison oak.
Is it like pinned to the lapel? Is it on a brooch? Is it metal? Is it a real leaf?
It's like pinned into the clothing that you can easily pull off.
Cool. So I'll use the same precautions as I did with the mushroom to use the corner of the cloak to pull it off and whatnot. Give it a sniff without touching it to my nose and probably ask the others what that is. I also, like I said, does any of his clothing, being a quickling and knowing a little bit about them but not much, I'm wondering if they actually have magic shoes that make them so quick. So I want to check them for magic, see if they would stretch over my feet like magic items do.
You would know that the quickling's nature makes them inherently quick. It's not about their shoes or their gear. It is just something naturally about them that makes them super speedy, gotta go fast.
But if you make shoes out of them...
Oh my god.
We just got into a whole different campaign now.
We sure did.
Well, we were talking earlier about making the Goliath a base, but so it is there's a theme there. So, all right, we'll leave the little quickling and all his poor clothes that none of them seem to stretch and fit me. I guess they're non-magical. And I guess we just got some daggers. And hey, guys, I got this little leaf. And what do you think? Does it smell like it could be used to burn or make a cigarette or anything like that, or?
You could probably make something to smoke out of it, or it could probably be used as a magical component in spells that require a component, but you're not sure what.
Cool. I was asking these two what they think.
Oh, sorry, my bad.
It's all right. No, it's good. I mean, thumbs up.
I don't think I would smoke that one. Probably find you something though in the wood if you want. Let's. I'm an elk.
Are you a sad elk or a happy elk?
Yeah. While they're, I guess, one of them is conversing and the other is grunting. I'm gonna gingerly take my spear out of the quickling, and I'm going to set it up against a tree and close its eyes and make it to where it's just like sitting and go, poor angry little daft bastard.
Are you redressing him now?
I'm so sorry it came to this.
Yeah.
No redressing, but nature will take its course, but I can at least set him in a little more of a dignified position.
The clothes don't look like they would be sellable for any money, do they? Because, I mean, like, we're struggling
Not really.
entertainers.
They're kind of piecemeal.
Ah, jerk. You should have some nice clothes.
Yeah.
Entertainers, we
The
gotta have nice
daggers
things.
maybe, though.
Yeah. The what?
Yeah. The daggers maybe, though.
Yeah, we picked up the daggers, so. And went
Yeah.
over and retrieved the other two just because, hey, maybe selling them and whatnot.
Okay.
Guys, we have this leaf. Moose, don't eat the leaf right now. And what about checking out those logs? Should we go check those logs and see if we can't get that last mushroom there?
We can grab the mushrooms, but I'm a little ashamed at the price that it came to. I'm not sure I deserved the stabbing either.
I don't think any of us deserved to be stabbed except for that little guy because, like, he was very ferocious and mean. He was an angry elf.
He was very angry. I don't know why.
Ooh, he sounds hungry. He definitely wants some of the brown mushrooms. All right, can we move over to the log and see if there's any more blue mushrooms?
Easily enough, you head over to the log, and those who are investigating, go ahead and give me an investigation check on these logs.
Split it open with an axe.
Giuseppe.
16.
Burden, as your elks, are you investigating as an elk? You're sniffing around?
I'm not.
Okay. Fierna.
I have successfully rolled a 3, so I'm not sure I know there's a log there.
Very well. Giuseppe, you see that as you look around these various down trees, there is a slight bit of blue to the overgrowth amongst the ivy and the moss that has grown over one of these trees and some of the variegated grass. And you do see what looks to be another of these spores. However, you also see that as you are looking around, there is a very slight path. Not so much a path, really, as it is a... You see the spore, first of all, so you can collect the spore. So I'll let you guys collect the spore first, and then I'll describe what you see after the spore.
Okay, well, I'll motion for Fierna to come over. Maybe you should grab that thing like you did the others. It looks like it's ready to harvest as far as I can tell.
I will absolutely go over there, grab it. Let's do this the same as the other ones, man. If I've got some good instructions from my Goliath friend, I trust him.
Okay. So you go ahead and harvest the spore. Giuseppe, as she's harvesting the spore, you do see that there is almost too small and almost too narrow for someone your size to walk through. There is just what looks to be the inkling of a path that heads a little itsy baby tiny whiny itty bitty bit deeper into the forest. A little path. And you see that in this tiny little clearing, there's a little hammock that looks to be about quickling size. And there looks to be just this little space between a couple of trees that looks like it might lead deeper into the forest.
Deeper.
I'm gonna roll something real quick.
Sure, go ahead.
Go
I
through
always
the portal.
encourage self-rolls.
Okay. It looks like that's where the quickling was sleeping. It doesn't look very comfortable, though. That's it. That's all it's got. Didn't put 2 and 2 together, not even a little.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Well, if we've got everything that we want, is it time to leave?
And I'll turn around and start swaggering down the path back out.
Okay.
I wondered if you could ride bee like that.
I don't
I
know,
wonder
but
if I should start calling you Fee now that I think about it. Oh, we could be Fee, B, and G.
The PBGs, the PBGs.
is that like the Phoebe? You know, when somebody gets the Phoebe GBs?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh my god.
That's when they're scared that we're coming for them.
Should I blow my horn to announce that we're coming out of the forest now? It's really your horn, but
well, you seem to have very taken to it, so I don't particularly mind you putting it to good use.
well, with that, then we'll perform a impromptu. You can't call a song because I'm blowing a horn, so I'm not singing, you know, but some music. There you go.
Something like that.
If I only had a kazoo.
Yeah. I think if I ever, yeah.
There you
No,
go.
that's a pan plate. I have ocarinas in there too. Don't test me.
Uh,
I have a fucked up broken violin back there too. Don't test me.
I can join in on this.
Oh my god.
Oh my.
Yeah. It's been years since I played, and I wasn't great at it before, but it's
I don't know how to instruments.
yeah. I do like it. Although funny enough, this is a little off topic, but I originally got this for a costume. Yeah.
So you give it a little strum.
Yeah. Oh, it's out of tune real bad.
Oh, that's
Oh,
amazing.
it's been a long time.
That's amazing.
All right. So we blow the horn and
You blow the horn. And something like that bullshit. And as
Picturing
you
it, Goliath playing a ukulele, and it's just really weird because it's yeah.
And as you make your way out of the forest, the eerie silence follows you until you're well out of your way back to the Shimmer Vale. You make your way out of the Traskin Wood with your little bit of adventure having been completed and your strange encounters having been encountered. And as you are going, you have the strange sense of being watched, Giuseppe, and the strange sense of being followed. And although you look over your shoulder every once in a while, you see nothing. But eventually, you return to the Shimmer Vale, and the wizard Turo, this elderly humanoid wizard, gives you his thanks and pays you the 300 gold. And he tells you, wow, I'm glad that you all got these safely. And did you see anything strange while you were in the woods?
I looked to the leftover blood on every one of my companions, and I'm like, well, I don't know about safely. Yeah, we were attacked by a bunch of little, like, fairy folk.
I gave you a potion of healing, just in
Yeah.
case, yes?
But that's not really safe. That's, like, just to save our butts.
Exactly. A safety precaution. Yes, yes.
So, what do you think this is? And I hold up the leaf.
Takes a closer look at it, adjusts his spectacles, and says, "Looks like a leaf. Looks like a poison oak leaf to me."
Oh. I asked the moose next to me, are you allergic to poison oak? Because if not, you could eat this.
This is 2 days later, by the way.
Oh.
When you've gotten back to the Shimmer Vale.
I might have wanted to be a moose again.
You might have.
I already said you probably shouldn't smoke that.
It's got itchy lungs now.
I cast Identify on it to find out if it's anything other than a poison oak leaf.
You cast Identify.
Not the spell?
Yeah, for sure. And there's nothing inherently magical about this. There's nothing to identify.
Oh, so sad.
I know. But as you touch it with your bare skin, it itches a little.
Thumbs up.
Whoops. Whoops. But as Turo looks over you, he says, well, you are exactly who I needed. It's good that you're still here. I do happen to know something. The place that you all came from, yes. Those mushrooms, the Aathos spores that you brought me, yes. And he takes those and he hands you each a pouch of 100 gold per person. He says, These only grow near portals to the Feywild, yes.
Well,
They
that
mentioned-
Tiefling did mention something about a portal, though.
If you are indeed intrepid adventurers, which I think you might be, then maybe in the future I will have some more work for you, yes. Maybe I will even ask you to go through this portal. But for now, I have paid you your dues. And you can find good food at the inn. Now get out of my house!
Well,
No.
that's probably for the best. I think I might, it might be haunted by a fairy now. I feel like I've got something always watching me.
So don't bring it to my house!
Oh, you're free to take it if you feel like it might
I
work
don't
out
want
here.
it!
Okay.
Alright, heading out from there. I'm going to head back to the inn with my buddies if they're willing to kind of celebrate a little bit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, easily enough, you head back. I have a note in here that says the name of the inn somewhere.
Well, we can buy a lot of cheap swill with 100 gold.
You sure can. You sure can. The Gosmill Tavern is what it was called. You head back to the Gosmill Tavern, get your rooms, get your food, get your drink on, and have a good night's rest. And that, my intrepid adventurers, is where this particular part of the story ends, and maybe in the future, just maybe, another begins.
There you go. Wow, thank you, stranger. You made that a lot of fun. And we
Had fun.
successfully made it out alive. Look at that.
You did!
Despite our best efforts to summon enemies.
Despite your best efforts.
Yeah.
I do have to say, despite the fact that we've been doing one-shots here recently, they've all been pretty enjoyable, I think.
Good. I'm glad.
Well, I hope it was enjoyable for our audience, too, who came along with us. I want to thank you all
Thank you guys for joining us.
viewing here on Plot Points, joining the adventure, offering in your suggestions. This has been a one-shot in DM Strangers universe where we all rolled up some quick characters and just had some fun hunting mushrooms and ended up with poison oak. But hey, we got some gold along the way and we all lived to tell the tale. And isn't that really the best part about D&D? Just making some memories and having fun times. Hey, so if you enjoyed the laughter other than Natasha's hideous laughter, we want to invite you to come back and enjoy us every week where you can hear more laughter like Strangers giving us, more of the great acting like you saw all your players here offer. I can't guarantee great music, but we can guarantee a great blast of whether it's a horn or a butt trumpet in our other game, but we always got something funny going on. Join us here every Thursday night, every Saturday night when your schedule permits, or tune us in on the Twitch reruns, or tune us in on YouTube. In the meantime, I want to thank you all from all of us here at Plot Points 5e. Wherever table you're at, make it the best game possible. Happy gaming, and God bless, friends. Have a great night.
Good night. Should we read somebody?
Oh, I guess I can do a raid real quick. Yeah, I totally got. Let me go over here and really look.
Don't know who, because I don't do this thing, the Twitch
I got
thing.
it. Yeah.
All right, there we go.
I got it.
Good.
Oh, thank you. I just don't reasons. But I appreciate that. Thank you.
All right, we're gonna go over and raid Tabletop Tavern tonight.